and there are a few more down here. Give me a second to get them all out, because somehow these are not in the right order. Hey everyone, this is Athagos, and you might be wondering, again, a one-deck dungeon video? You just released one? Yeah, I did. I did release my almost 2-hour playthrough. That is definitely worth watching, so I highly suggest you go and watch that. But during the stream and also in the comment section, I was asked how you could fare with having both versions, how you can actually combine them with another. I explained that at the end of my live stream, but not in detail. I will go into detail now and show you how that works. This will be just a relatively quick video showing you how that works. So there is the base game, One Deck Dungeon, that's the original game. And then there is the standalone expansion, One Deck Dungeon Forest of Shadows. That's the one I'm playing through on the channel right now in my series that I started just a few days ago. So you can play with both versions. Both games are pretty much the same except for a few small differences. I will not go into how you play these games. I suggest you watch my video to understand how they work. I will just show you how you can combine them, because you actually can. So let's start with the base game. Let's start with the different components, right? So just give me a second here to get everything a little bit set up. Okay. So that's the base game. Let me just put that maybe like this, so you know which game we are looking at, like that. And then also we have the expansion. I will get the stuff out here as well, like this. Okay, so we have all the cards from the base game here, from the first installment, and we have the ones from the expansion. Let's start with the dungeon decks first. That's like the most important thing, right? So the dungeon decks, that is... now I did them a little bit in the wrong order here, but that's it. Let me just turn them around like this. Okay, so that is the dungeon deck of the base game. And now you can see, always here you have the combat encounter or the peril. Here it's a peril. And besides the peril, there is nothing besides the name, right? On some cards. There are cards where there is like this little blue icon. Right? So what you did, I already did that on my last stream, that's why it's already sorted. You sort these into 2 stacks. One stack with dungeon cards that don't have the symbol, and a stack with cards that do have the symbol, right? So that's the first thing you do. You do the same thing for the expansion. You take out all the dungeon cards. There we go. And then you do the same thing. There are cards without a symbol here. And there also are cards with a symbol here, with the green one, right? So let me just, because they're already pre-sorted, because I explained that at the end of my stream, I can do that quite quickly now, like this. And also, the one without a symbol, the one with a symbol. All right, and what you now do according to the official rules is you just take all the cards with a symbol right next to the name, put them together, and you take all the cards that don't have a symbol and put them together as well. So, and it was just slightly out of focus, so I just corrected that. I hope it's better now. Okay, and that's already your dungeon decks, right? So the interesting thing is both decks are now equal. Both decks have exactly the same encounters now, because each encounter exists at least twice. But the difference is that the same encounters can have different rewards. So you see here, like this is the same encounter in both decks, right? The one with and the one without a symbol, but you have different rewards here and there, right? It's just that these things are the same usually. So it's quite interesting. So you can play with that deck once and then also with that deck. What you could also do, which makes it maybe a little bit more unbalanced, but if you want even more variety, you can also take the green ones with a symbol and the blue ones with a symbol, and then you can just put like the green ones without a symbol on the blue ones with a symbol, and the other way around, right? So you can mix that up even more. And at the end of the, when you're done with everything and you want to get those back into the right games, because these without a symbol, you don't know which these are, right? Just look at the back. The back, you see here the doors with the green diamond. These are the ones for the expansion, Forest of Shadows, which is everything in green. And the one with the blue door, that's the one for the base game, right? And that is pretty much how you can combine these two decks. So let us combine them back again so I can show you what else we can do. Give me a second. Yeah, there we go. So now we got everything back into the decks with a symbol and those without a symbol, right? So that's one thing you can do a hybrid deck. Then we continue. Then we have the dungeons. We do have the dungeons from the base game. Dragon's Cave, Yeti's Cavern, Hydra's Reef, Lich's Tomb, and Minotaur's Maze. And these you usually use with the base game, but these dungeons, as well as the one from the standalone expansion, you can just use them with any composition of the decks you did, right? You can just use any of them. That is no problem at all. They are all balanced for pretty much both, from pretty much all combinations of the hybrid decks here, right? Okay, the next thing we have is we do have the characters from the base game here, and there are a few more down here. Give me a second to get them all out, because somehow these are not in the right order. I think because that's the of the expansion characters, but there we go. So that is the characters from the base game, and then we also have the characters from the expansion. Same thing here, just like with the dungeons, you can use each character with each hybrid deck. There's no problem at all. Then what we have is we have different campaign sheets. We have the campaign sheet we are using for our Alchemist Gritty at the moment from the expansion, and then we also have a campaign sheet from the base game, and they are different. They have different skills, but you can use any campaign sheet with any character and any dungeon composition. But you can only you need one campaign sheet per character. So if I play one game with my Alchemist Gritty, and then the next game I play with whatever, with the Druid, for example, for the Druid I need a new campaign sheet. I can't take the same one, but I can take the one from the base game if I want to. That is no problem at all. Just one campaign sheet per character. By the way, I would always suggest you play with the campaign sheet, because if you play the game 3 times, one might benefit from your games by getting a few skills, right? And a few more, make the game a little bit easier and more exciting. All right, so we're almost through. What we also have is the basic skills here. And we have basic skills in the base game, and we also have basic skills in the expansion here. These are different as well. These are 4 different skills each, and you can also take any skills you want and play with them in any dungeon competition. So pretty much the same thing. So as you can see, all you need to know is how to combine these decks so that it's balanced, right? And then everything else you can mix and match the way you want to, if you just pay attention to a few things, such as having one campaign sheet per character, etc. And there is one last thing I want to speak to you about, and that is the poison mechanism in the expansion. If you mix and match and you take old characters and you have hybrid dungeons and everything, poison is a mechanism you should always play with, because if you do these hybrid dungeons, that you will always have cards that work with poison. So you always need to play with poison, with the poison mechanism when you play the hybrid dungeon. Of course, what you could also do, I definitely don't suggest it, but one thing that I could imagine you could do is replace poison by damage. So whenever you would receive poison, you would receive damage instead, but that is way too hard. That makes the game nearly impossible, I think. And I think that sucks the fun out of the entire experience. So I definitely would not do that at all. So if you have both games and you want to play a hybrid deck, then you need to play with the poison mechanism. I couldn't understand why not to play with the poison mechanism anyway, because I think it just makes the game better and more exciting, which is the reason why I like the second version more. But you can do that hybrid thing, and that works pretty well. All right. Now I spoke way more than I wanted to, but that is all you need to know in order to customize your playing experience with this wonderful game if you have both versions, which I actually suggest because the different heroines and the different enemies and everything makes playing that really exciting. Oh yeah, and I just want to add one more thing. So if you want to do this hybrid thing, and then it makes sense to put everything in one box, right? Everything would fit in one box, like at least all the cards, but not all the tokens most likely, right? So if you have like the tokens of the base game here and also the ones of the expansions, they will not all fit in one box, but you don't need to, because one set of tokens is enough for one player, right? So what I would suggest you do is just take the ones from the base game, because they're way smaller. Look at these small hearts and look at the large hearts here. So you can just take like the components from the base game and put them in the box, and then put all the cards hybrid here, and these I would just leave in this box here just as a replacement or whatever, and not put them in the same box here, because then everything should actually fit. I haven't tried it yet, but I will probably this week. I will try to see how that works, and then everything should actually fit in one box, which makes it even better, right? All right, so that is all I wanted to show to you. I hope it was helpful. If it was, why don't you let me and the algorithm know by liking and commenting. Also, you can let me know how you like the games, and if you're looking forward to the rest of the series, of course. And if you like my content enough, you can check out the hundreds of videos I got on my channel. To make sure, you can also subscribe and even join my Discord server, where we are having a lot of fun there. Alright, that should be all from my side. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the very next video. Alright, take care everyone, cheers and happy gaming.